everyone. Okay, so today we will see one of the chapter in PhD, and which is one of the most important chapter in PhD, that is business services. So first of all, I would like to teach that what is the importance in studying. What is the importance in studying business services in BSD? So before we move to any concepts under business services, I would like to every time I like to tell students that what is the significance of this chapter, why we are studying this chapter. That is very important for us. Okay, so the thing is, the chapter will help us in analyzing the prime factors required for the smooth functioning for the smooth functioning of any business. Okay, so this chapter will be helpful in analyzing the prime factors required for the smooth functioning of any business. So what are the important parts we would like to know from this chapter, which will help us in analyzing that how the business can go in a smoother way? Okay, so some of the important parts, important factors in this chapter are e-banking, transportation, communication, insurance, services. So these are all the prime factors which we will consider in this chapter, which will help in the smooth functioning of any business. Fine. So first of all, we would like to see that what is business service. So business services is a characteristics of the difference between the chapter business services gives you a brief introduction to the characteristics of business services, the difference between services and goods classification, the concept of e-banking, that what I have already mentioned here, that what are the important factors which is required to study in this chapter. Fine. Now we will see the definition of this business services. What is the meaning of auxiliaries to trade? What is the meaning of auxiliaries? It means the service which is required to bring a product from its production center to the consumption center. That is where it is getting produced. We are bringing the product from that manufacturing sector to the consumption sector, from where the consumers will get the product ultimately. So this is also one kind of service which is needed. So how it can be, how we can get the thing from the manufacturing, from the production point to the consumption center? It's through here. One of the important service required is transportation. Okay, I am getting the product, that is one product is changing its place from production center to the consumption center. So how the product is moving? The product cannot move by itself. So through transportation. Fine. Now we will see certain features or nature of services. Okay, what are features of services? First of all, service is an intangible, means not touchable. Okay, the service can be felt, but it is not touchable. Fine. Whereas the goods are tangible by nature. So this is one of the important difference which we will see. Fine. Now another important part in this chapter is banking, e-banking. So what is the meaning of e-banking? E means here, E means internet. Banking through internet process. Fine. So this is one of the important part. It is also one of the important service which is required for smooth functioning of a business. Okay. Now let us go to next slide. Next part rather. Here we will see that there are different types of services, as I said. Okay, so business services, social services, and personal services. So I'm just clearing this so that you can see the screen. So what are the types of services? Business service, social service, personal services. Okay, so what are the business services? As I said, business services are banking, transportation, communication. On the other hand, social services are, these are provided voluntarily for the welfare of weaker sections. Okay, so this is not the profit motive. It is done voluntarily for the weaker sections, for the weaker part of the society. Okay, before moving to this, I just want you to know that one of the difference here we are seeing is inconsistency. What is the meaning of inconsistency here? The meaning of inconsistency is that different consumers are having different demands. Okay, so based on that, we are offering the different services. Similarly, inseparability means simultaneous production and consumption. Example, eating an ice cream in a restaurant. Wherever under goods, if it comes to inseparability, separation of production and consumption. Example, purchasing ice cream from a store. So inseparability means under services that production and consumption, that I am eating our ice cream in a restaurant. Fine. But in goods, separation of product, that is purchasing an ice cream from a store. So what is the basic difference here? Under services, I am performing an action in a restaurant. That is, I am eating an ice cream. However, goods means I am buying that particular thing from a restaurant. That is, I am buying a product from a restaurant. So that is the definition of a good. But definition of a service means I am doing an action. That is, I am eating an ice cream and my restaurant is serving me that ice cream. That is the service. And here I'm eating the same thing in a restaurant. That is, I'm eating a good. Fine. So this is one of the important difference between goods and services, right? Now we will see that types of services. So one of the important part which we have noticed is banking, transportation, and communication, or some of the important types of services under business. Social service, which we are voluntarily providing for the welfare of the weaker sections. Third is personal services. Personal services means that personal businesses which I am giving to the individuals. For example, beauty parlors, salons, tailor. These are all the personal services. Now, banking services. Now, there are different types of banks: commercial banks, cooperative banks, specialized banks, and central banks. Under commercial banks, there are private sector and public sector. They are all offering us services. The businessmen are going to the commercial banks so that they can take a loan from the banks at certain interest rate. Like so, banks are also helping us in lending us some money, and we are also going to bank to save certain portion of our income there. Okay, so this is how both of us are interrelated with each other. Okay, we are inseparable. Fine. Now, next we are coming to some facts of banking. What are the important codes of banking? There are e-banking. Okay, e-banking is there. E-banking means banking transaction carried out with the help of computer system, that is banking over the internet. So nowadays we have certain things like we have different banking applications with the help of which we can make certain transactions, fine, without going to the bank in person. So without going to the bank, we can update our passbook, we can make certain transactions with the help of certain banking applications. So this is one of the important feature of e-banking. What is electronic fund transfer? Electronic fund transfer, bank transfers wages and salaries directly from company's account to the account of employees. That at the time of getting our salaries, okay, the company, what they does, they transfer the wages and salaries directly from the company's account to the employee's account. So this is called EFT. ATM, we all know, automatic teller machine. It refers to an electronic terminal that allows people with plastic card to perform simple banking transactions like withdrawal of money 24/7. It is open. So it is a machine where we can insert our ATM card, which we get when we open any account in our bank. They provide us an ATM card so that with the help of that card, we can take our money anytime within 24 hours. Okay. Debit card means it is a plastic card that allows the bank to take money from the customer's account and transfer it to the seller's account. Suppose I am purchasing something. At that point of time, I do not have liquid cash with me. So at that point of time, what I can do, I can use my debit card and I can give it to the seller and I will enter my 4-digit PIN and my thing will be debited. My amount will be debited and it will go to the seller's account. Credit card allows the customers to buy now and pay back the loaned amount to a bank at the future date. So if I do not have that sufficient amount of money at that point of time, bank will provide me that money at that point of time, and after that I have to give it back to the bank in the future. Okay. Online banking under the system, when the customer gives instruction on his computer, the bank computer transfers from seller to customer's account to biller's account. So online banking is like the e-banking thing. Okay. Now it is one of the important part which we are coming is insurance. Insurance is what? One party is promising another party against the loss or damage of any assets. For example, car insurance, home insurance, fire insurance. That is, where if I buy any car or any asset, so I will get into a contract with one insurance company. What are the insurance company? They are promising us that they will pay of any loss if we have encountered after buying these assets. We might face any car accident, we might face any loss in our home damage, we can have fire in our homes. At that time, they will provide us that amount. They will help us with that amount, the value of the asset. They will help with the value of the asset by giving us value of the asset. Okay, at that point of time. So why they will do that? What is the reason why they will do that? Because we will pay a certain amount, premium amount to them, which is known as premium. Okay, we will pay certain amount to them every year so that they can provide us that, they can help us at that point of time whenever we will get into any problem with our assets. Next, we are coming to fundamental principles of insurance. What are the principles? So we should have that utmost faith or trust on that particular party from whom we are getting the money, from whom we are getting the support. Principle of insurable interest. So why they will help? Why they will help us? Because we will after a certain point of time we have to pay the premium with the help of which against which they are providing us the services at that point of time, at that point of emergency they are providing us the services. So this is how we have to give some insurable interest to them. Indemnity, principle of indemnity. What is the meaning? Refers that the insured means who is getting the insurance, getting the help from the party. Okay, like I am buying the car, I am entering into a contract with another party so that I can get the help from that party. So I am the insured. Insured can get only the compensation against actual loss and he cannot make any profit out of the insurance. Principle of proximate cause. It refers to the direct cause and not the remote cause. So it should also be checked that the insurer, that is who is buying the car and against which he is getting, if any loss happened to that particular car, the insurer will get that support from the insured. Insured means one who is giving the services. That is the person belonging to the insurance company and he is giving the services to the insurer. So insured, it should be ensured that insured will only get that amount of return from the insurer, not the extra amount, so that he can make any additional profit. So there should be certain transparency between the insurer and the insured. I think, am I clear with this? That is, suppose one insurer is buying suppose a person is buying a car. So if any loss occurred or any damage occurred to that car at a certain point of at a particular time, what he can do? Suppose he is not having that amount of cash with him at that point of time. So the insured will help the insurer by paying that amount of the money which is getting damaged, at the worth of that particular damaged part. Okay, the value. So that he will get the compensation. That is, the insurer will get the compensation from the insured. Okay, so here it will be checked. Here it is necessary to see that the insured who is giving the support to the insurer, he will only be responsible for only that part of the compensation. There will be no any other personal interest for the insured to make any profit out of the insurance. Fine. Now, principle of mitigation of loss states that it is the duty of the insured to take reasonable steps to minimize the loss or damage to the insured property. So it has to be checked that there should be a minimum loss so that no damage can happen to the car, so that this compensation, this thing cannot happen. So we have to be very that once a person is buying a car, he have to be very careful while driving a car. Okay, it is for an example I am telling. So this is life insurance, fire insurance, marine insurance, and the type of insurance. Marine insurance is an agreement where the insurer undertakes to indemnify the insured loss against perils of the sea. If any loss happened down the sea, so he will get the coverage. It is a contract whereby the insurer undertakes to make good any loss damage caused by fire during a specified period. Okay. Now we are coming to modes of communication, which is one of the important part in business services. Because without proper communication, the business services cannot be properly executed, cannot be properly implemented. Okay, so postal service, telecom services, mobile service, courier service, that is, a person is getting something, a person, the consumer is getting the product. How he will get it? Without the proper communication. So there should be a proper communication, proper mailing facilities, proper postal facilities, proper cellular facilities, proper there should be a proper courier service, proper VASAT service, DTH services, like through which the courier, the parcel reach the customer. So these are some of the important words of communication, which is important for the smooth flow of business services. Okay. Now it is coming transportation. That is, with the help of which there should be a mobility of the goods. Okay. Modes of transport, it's very easy. We know roads, railways, airways, and shipping. Okay. So these are some of the important modes of transport. Warehousing. What is the meaning of warehousing? Where the goods are kept safely and being delivered whenever required. For example, potatoes stored in a cool and dry place within warehouse and being transported to the market whenever is required. Okay. So, for example, potatoes. So warehouse is a place where the goods are kept safely and being delivered whenever required by the market. So types of warehouses, we know. What are the types of warehouses? Private, public, bordered, government, and cooperative. Fine. So this is the chapter which we studied. So what we can do, these are some of the important questions which is important for you to note down. So you can take the screenshot of this question. You can take the screenshot of this question. we will discuss these questions. We can discuss these questions in the next class. Okay. So this is for now. See you in next class. Thank you.